I'm wearing green and you're wearing blue.
Today, we educate you on colors. I got blue, Tom got green, there's yellow on the screen, and if you can identify them all, congratulations, you're not an idiot.
That's it. Blue, green,
Or
everything in
colorblind.
between. That's GPS.
Yeah. You know,
Ladies
I'm
and
going to say
gentlemen.
something controversial to start the show, Tom,
Oh,
because
God.
that's how you get the clicks.
Oh, God.
I don't like colorblind people. If your eyes can't tell the difference between green and blue, don't like you. That's a group that hasn't been targeted yet, I feel. Colorblind people just skate through the world. Nobody criticizing them. Half the colorblind people probably don't even realize they're colorblind, and that's the real problem.
I mean, they're going to find out at a traffic light real quick.
That's them just slamming the gas.
They also can't control their feet, and that's it. Well, folks.
Hashtag cancel Perna already trending in the chat.
Jared, can you even prove colors exist?
Yeah, colors are a concept. How do I know what you see as green is the same as what I see as green?
Oh, my God. What if the Packers wear purple?
The Packers are the Vikings.
Oh, God.
Stay tuned.
Oh, God. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show, otherwise known as I'm Grossi, Brandon Perna. We're here on a Wednesday, and we got a lot to talk about. There's a lot to talk about on this Wednesday. We filled it up. But the biggest thing before we even get started with anything is Tom Grossi agrees wholeheartedly with Antonio Brown.
Whoa.
I got to say, Antonio Brown, there's a lot to not like. There's a lot to even despise. But Antonio Brown hitting the nail on the head today.
I would love to have an opinion to actually tell you what should the Vikings do with Kirk Cousins, Mike Zimmer, their offense, defense. But, man, I'm trying to figure out my team, my squad, what I'm doing, where I'm going. So, Skull Nation, I would tell you how to fix the Vikings. Call Mike Zimmer. Let Mike Zimmer figure it out. He's the best of the best. You guys in good hands. Vikings Twitter, keep business booming.
This business be booming.
Yeah. I think, Antonio Brown's got a lot of hate.
Yeah.
But that's something.
See, I see Antonio Brown as Antonio Red.
Yes. Or AJ Green as
AJ Orange.
Oh.
Even though he's a Cardinal, I still see AJ Orange.
That's crazy. It's weird. But yeah, even though that's a cameo and it was paid for, whoever paid for that, it's the greatest money they ever spent ever in their life.
And that's actually the most coherent I've ever heard Antonio Brown.
Hey, you know what, Bull? I agree. I bet AB does use code GPS on DraftKings Sportsbook. Oh, is that the Halloween edition?
What a segue for us. What a friggin' segue.
We're going to have our
code GPS. Wait, what color is this? This is the color of money.
11.
Blue. 11. Color 11 coming in for the win.
You wrote 3. You wrote Texas with a $sign.
go to DraftKings Sportsbook, where you can bet on whether colors are real.
Yeah, you can.
It's a long play bet, just like Kevin Malone from The Office betting on John Mellencamp to win an Oscar. Boy, 10,000 to 1 odds. You take that.
You take
bet
it every time.
Every time. What do we? Oh yeah, DraftKings. There's a link in the description if you want to do some real sports betting instead of Tom and I shenanigans here. Whatever I'm saying, what's happening? DraftKings. Use code
Are we promoting them?
Yes, we love DraftKings so much. Like they're our mothers because they give us money to say we love them. That's what my mom used to do. Go to school. Here's $10. Tell everybody I don't neglect you. Right?
Okay.
That was parenting.
That's solid. I have another story, but it's I don't know if it's appropriate.
My mom also matched our deposit bonus of up to $1,000 when you sign up at DraftKings Sportsbook. And this week you can bet $5 on any football team to win their game. If they do, they're going to give you $200 in free bets. And probably next week, DraftKings will pay me just to stop reading ads.
Just stop. Just
shut up, Brandon. We do have a big show today because not only did AB drop that delicious cameo about Mike Zimmer being the best of the best. Yes. Aaron Rodgers, it was revealed by some guy who we'll get into saying he did not vote for Aaron Rodgers as MVP. I've got his sound bites to prove how dumb this gentleman is. He wouldn't. Yeah. He lost Aaron Rodgers' vote for MVP before the season started.
Correct.
That might be a problem. We'll talk about who might actually win MVP, who should win MVP in our eyes.
Yep.
Football team, they're going to drop a new name. Jalen Hurts.
Oh, and Antonio Brown is still on the Buccaneers too, and people are freaking out about it.
Yes. And Jags fans. Got to shout out Jags fans as they will be showing up in full on clown costume this weekend. So a lot to talk about today, Tom.
Oh yeah, buddy. Let's continuing just let's nip this right now with the AB. So yeah, AB has not officially been released by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which is causing some speculation. In which is it, hey, are they holding on to him so he can't go to a competitor? Because there are also reports out there that if AB wants to go to another football team, he will be able to do that, which is mind-boggling to me. But at this point, it really shouldn't be. It really shouldn't be. But that's one. Or two, they're figuring out what the hell to do with him. Like, are they going to owe him any money if they cut him? Like, I'm sure they're talking with the NFL. It's like, hey, he was shirtless and ran off the field. Like, he literally quit. Like, what do we do with that? So I think that there's a lot of nuance in trying to figure this out, since you never had anything happen like this until like that Bills player left during halftime and retired. But AB didn't even retire. So I don't even know.
Yeah, because
great profile
I guess
pick, by the way.
The issue for the Bucs is they can't cut an injured player. And Antonio Brown is claiming his ankle is injured. He's allegedly got a second medical opinion confirming that his ankle is injured. The Bucs say he was cleared to play this week. So in their eyes, he was not injured. And I'll say this right now. NFL teams clearing players from injury when they're still injured, that happens all the time. Either guys want to play through injuries. They're like, oh, yeah, you still got your hamstring is shredded, but technically you're a lineman, so you can play through it. So that would not surprise me if the Bucs tried to push him on the field and he was injured. But no, you cannot trust a single thing Antonio Brown is saying about his body. Like, if Bruce Arians said, get out of here on the spot, like AB is claiming, Bruce is saying he didn't say that. There's a completely different way to handle that situation if you're Antonio Brown, which is, if you're really upset and you want to leave the field, you don't strip down and do jumping jacks on your way through the end zone. So, yeah, I don't know who to believe. I'm going to tend to lean towards the Buccaneers organization but I don't trust either. I don't think we'll ever get the truth here. But
I mean, here's the thing. To Perna's point, you really can't trust anything he says. Like, I was a personal chef for AB for an entire summer. That guy said, "Oh, I'll pay you next week." He still never did. So, it was a whole mess. But I did see that Terrell Owens wants to come back.
Yeah,
he's like, they don't need me for this season. They just need me for a few games. I want to see sit-ups in his driveway again. I want to see it.
Boom.
I want to see it.
I want GoPro footage this time. I want TO's POV of the sit-ups in the driveway. Yes.
Nailed it.
Do you think there's any chance AB ends up playing for the Bucks this season? Will the Bucks get that desperate is my question.
Yes.
Ooh.
I think that there is still a world in which it happens because, and it's funny because I wouldn't have thought it at all. Where's your Beanie Boys?
Yeah, good question, Paul.
That's because here's the thing. I would have said no. However, look at the blue matching. Look at the
blue
matching.
Blue, baby.
I feel
Wait, I don't know if this is blue though. My ankle tells me this is orange.
My ankle is numb, so that means that it could be a different color. And here's the reason why. I think AB or Jackson Mahomes. Oh God,
probably AB at this point.
I want to say that I'm sorry, I was saying no, but looking at the stats for this show today, I was like, ooh, maybe. And here's what I mean by that. It's because, and I tweeted this out too. So the Buccaneers, they have 5 players, or have had 5 players this season with over 450 yards. And if we want to move the measuring stick up to 500, they have 3. And that is Chris Godwin, who has 1,100 out for the year. Mike Evans, who has 946, who's still able to play, a little banged up though. Gronk, 665, still playing. AB at 545, who is apparently going to be off the team. And Fournette, who has 454, who is on IR. So out of those 5, 2 remain right now. So, I mean, I think it's a possibility. Maybe you get super desperate because you're a week away from the playoffs.
Could be. I think Bruce Arians' ego won't allow it to happen. Somebody brought up ego earlier. Arians, cool, chill coach, unless you piss him off, unless you take his parking spot. I don't think he's going to be able to walk back AB being off the team. Now, the Bucks may have to keep Antonio Brown if the injury is legit. And if the injury is legit, then if he comes back, he can't play through it. He can't then play through it if it's serious enough for him to not play. And an MRI reveals this week it's very serious still. Yeah. Then how could he come back and then play through that injury? That doesn't make sense to me. So, yeah, I agree with you in that I wouldn't be surprised. But if I'm leaning one way, he's not going to play again for the Bucks this season. I don't think they're going to release him, though. I think they'll eat the money to keep him off another team roster because it's the playoffs. And if he becomes
the Rams will be like, come on down.
Who?
The Rams. They'll be like, come on down.
Yeah.
We're going all in.
The Rams, maybe Tennessee throws him on their roster. They need receiver help. The Patriots would be crazy enough to do it. He was already there once.
Can you imagine Bill
obviously,
Belichick?
If the Vikings were in the playoffs, Tom, Mike Zimmer would be making that call right now.
Well, yeah, because obviously, and you know what he would do? He would cut Kellen Mond to make the spot for AB because obviously he hates Kellen Mond more than Satan. So that's just the way it is. But yeah, I don't think he's going to, but I think it's a possibility. I do think it's a possibility. But let's talk about MVP, Brandon Perna. Let's talk about the thing that we want to get into. That was the title of this show because this is a doozy. And this was blowing up on the Twitters yesterday. and his guy was trending for a while.
Yeah.
You want to set it up, Brandon Perna?
I do. So, I mean, you're talking about seeing it on Twitter. I think it was Pro Football Talk tweet last night that one of the 50 MVP voters said he wasn't going to vote for Rodgers because he thought he was a bad guy and a jerk. And I thought that was probably true, but like, Pro Football Talk, they're very good at getting out the headline articles right away.
Clickbait garbage.
Started to gain some more steam. And then I watched the clip of the guy on a Chicago radio show, and his name is Hub Arkush. One of the 50 AP voters.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a Bears beat writer. So obviously he's not going to like Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
And I'll just let the clip, I've got 2 clips here. We'll break them both down, but let's just let the clip speak for itself. This guy deemed to be qualified for this illustrious award.
And did you reveal that you're not voting for Aaron Rodgers? Is that correct?
I did. Yeah. I mean, I've been pretty consistent about that all year. I don't think you can be the biggest jerk in the league and punish your team and your organization and your fan base the way he did and be the most valuable player. Has he been the most valuable on the field? Yeah, you could make that argument, but I don't think he is clearly that much more valuable than Jonathan Taylor or Cooper Kupp or maybe even Tom Brady. And so from where I sit, the rest of it is why he's not going to be my choice. Do I think he's going to win it? Probably. A lot of the voters don't approach it the same way that I do. Others do, who I've spoken to.
Could you argue he's the best player on the field? Yeah, but I'm not going to vote for that guy because he's a jerk.
Yeah.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
And see,
me
me being ridiculous to start the show talking about colorblind people, that's as stupid of a thing to say as what this gentleman just said about MVP voting.
Yeah.
I have to believe they're going to take away his MVP vote. Like, this guy cannot be allowed to vote for who the best player is in the league, because if your bias is going to affect your vote, what's it matter? It's like, that'd be like letting me be an MVP voter and knowing Tom Brady could throw for 7,000 yards and 100 touchdowns in the season. I'd be like, nah. Let's give it to a left tackle this year.
I think it's just funny too, because he has said that this wasn't like just now. So this wasn't even like after the Pat McAfee thing. Like, this wasn't after any of that stuff. This was like right after the offseason going, oh no, well, he's terrible. So no, I'm not going to be voting for him. So before he even takes a snap in the regular season, he's like, I'm not going to vote for him. So I think that might be a little bias, just a little bit, just a tiny bit.
Might be bad.
Yeah, and you have a second clip here. Is that number 2?
Yeah, because this is the more damning clip, in my opinion, Tom.
Although I do think he hurt his team on the field, by the way he acted off the field. I mean, they're going to get the number 1 seed anyway, but what if the difference had come down to the Chiefs game, where he lied about being vaccinated and ended up not playing and they got beat. So I think all these things should be considerations. That's the way I look at it. He ruined the entire offseason for that football team. They were left in jeopardy. They had no idea what they were doing. A lot of the off the field stuff was wasted because he wasn't there. He tortured his fan base, and he's getting ready. He's already started doing it again.
Oh, so he couldn't have won the MVP before the season for you?
For me, no. Yeah, no. I just think that the way he's carried himself is inappropriate.
Let's make one thing clear. Aaron Rodgers getting COVID is not a reason he should not be able to win MVP. The Packers knew he could miss a game because of it. And the reasoning behind the Packers losing to the Chiefs, that being a reason to not give Rodgers an MVP vote, ridiculous. And yeah, he really tortured that Packers fan base. How's a Bears beat writer not happy that Aaron Rodgers tortured his own fan base? Like that should be a vote for him if you're a Bears fan. This guy.
Wow. The only thing that I'm thinking about is that line from Billy Madison, where it's like, what you've just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
Yeah.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points.
Yeah.
And may God have mercy on your soul. Like, what? Like, I don't understand. Yeah, obviously, I'm a survivor, guys. I'm a survivor because, Nick, Brady brought AB into Tampa. So,
yeah,
that, like, here, I have two thoughts about this. One, that vote needs to go away, like, real quick, because I just want to explain for people, too, because the NFL does it differently than a lot of other leagues about, like, how the MVP votes work, because in other leagues what you could see is kind of like a ranking system in which you do like, okay, like number 1's Aaron Rodgers, number 2 is Tom Brady, number 3 is Jonathan Taylor, 4 is Cooper Kupp, etc. You send that in, they take the averages of that, and then whoever has, the most is the winner, right? But in the NFL, there's 50 reporters, and they
hold on, Tom. Oh? We're gonna have one moment.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
Hi.
We're talking about the MVP. This is out of context, Jess, and I want you to tell us who you think the NFL MVP is right now.
The NFL MVP?
Who should win MVP? You got to give me one player.
Dak.
Dak Prescott.
Just
NFL MVP. And
I couldn't think of anyone. I don't know.
And Scooter was just like, what? Did someone say name Dakota Prescott?
Wait.
I should have said Aaron Rodgers.
Who should you have said?
I should have said Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
wow.
I know. I'm pointing to him.
It's so
pointing
obvious.
to him.
Dak.
Her vote is more thoughtful than that a-hole who just disqualified Aaron Rodgers.
You were supposed to destroy the Sith, not join them.
Oh, we don't know yet. We're talking about this guy
It should be Aaron Rodgers, Tom.
I know, Jess. I know exactly who it should be.
No,
but it's
you
okay.
Said Dak.
You think Rain Dakota Prescott should be?
Yeah, he's playing.
Okay, how's he doing?
He's pretty good.
Okay, so that's okay. But still, I should have said Aaron for Tom.
Why out of all the Cowboys?
I don't know. Well, we were watching him on the show earlier this year.
Were we?
Weren't they doing the Cowboys?
Oh yeah, the Broncos
on the HBO show.
Oh no, yes.
Yes, that's
Hard Knocks.
Hard Knocks. That's why. I don't know. I got nervous.
No, it's good. I told you I was going to put you on the spot.
Yep. There you go.
Whoa, Nets
Perna
for life.
You got a hundo, Perna.
A hundo for Aaron Rodgers. Spelled the way Rodgers should be spelled, by the way. Who put a D in that name?
Johnny John John!
Scooter Elway bringing me the hundos. Okay, Tom, continue explaining how this MVP process works.
So in other leagues, they do a ranking system in which it's like I vote for my number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, and then they average it, and the person who has the most, winds up being the winner. So what happens is in the NFL, the reason why this is so egregious is because there's only 50 voters and they only get one vote. That's it. Just one vote. So this person, right? Like it could be a 38 people vote for Aaron Rodgers, or you could just throw the vote away. This is why it's also weird. Russell Wilson's never gotten an MVP vote because you can only vote one time. So this guy coming out and basically saying from the beginning of the season, there's no way that Aaron Rodgers could win, is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
Cookies. Oh. I'll take cookies.
You are not going to poke my wife. Anything.
He's just a pointy stick. So, So anyway, so that's how the voting works. You vote one time out of the 50 people, and then they tally it all up, and whoever has the most winds up winning. So it could make for a really cool race because if you have Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, You know, like it could be very, very close. Like it could be like, you know, a 26-24 race, what have you. But yeah, so this is bad. Like this is really, really bad. And it's also like a joke.
Yeah.
So I think
why
Rodgers,
are there just
I don't know.
Sorry,
Wherever the Green Bay Packers want to trade him, and Jordan Love will take the reins. Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
why are there just 50 people that vote on it? That's the Associated Press members. Stupid. I guess it is the AP MVP award, so that's why.
Yeah.
But it needs to be fixed. It's
this is why on Pat McAfee's show, McAfee said after all the COVID talk, like in the vaccines and all that stuff, Pat said you're never going to win an MVP again because the reporters are the ones who are responsible for voting for the MVP. And so his argument was, well, since you lied to the media and, you know, you didn't lie to the team or like the NFL, but you were distruthful? No, that's not right.
Distruthful. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, okay. My brain just exploded. Yeah. Like that's why people to the media, they're like, oh, like that's why you're never going to get it again. It's always with Mitch Trubisky. That's it.
There's only one MVP. It's okay, guys. It's okay.
So this is like, that's terrible though. And on top of that, like it is exactly like the argument you made. Like if you were responsible for voting for the AP and you're like, well, I hate Tom Brady, so he's never going to get it.
Like why would I be allowed to vote? And I'm sorry if I'm not outraged that Aaron Rodgers lied to the media. The media lies to us every day. Like, why do I care what Aaron Rodgers told reporters because he didn't want to catch heat? Like, it shouldn't be factored in. It should just be play. So let's talk about the guys who are actually being considered for MVP right now, Tom, because Aaron Rodgers is probably going to win it. I don't think there's enough people who are that stupid.
Distruthful is not a word. I knew it wasn't a word. I don't know. It's dishonest. That's what I was going with. And then
distruthful works. You can put a dis in front of any word and it becomes a word. Grossi, Perna, show. Boom. All real.
Joe Burrow should win comeback player of the year, 1,000,000%.
Oh, yeah, because he did get hurt.
Yep.
I still think it should be Cordero Patterson. Because
that's a good call too.
He wasn't hurt last year, but I totally forgot he played in the NFL.
I don't disagree with you.
He was with the Vikings, right?
He's been on a bunch of teams, but he is blown up this season, and I don't think anyone saw that coming.
Burrow could win.
Burrow, like honestly, like he should be in the conversation. Like he's like low level MVP talks with how he's been playing. I mean, like he had a couple he had a stretch where it wasn't good. Exactly. Like it wasn't good, but I mean, like he's ending the season really strongly. And that there, you wrote this in the rundown. One of the questions, like, how come the playoffs aren't included in the MVP talk? And I think that there's some validity to that. I think at the same time, your sample size is going to be lower because if you have the 1 seed, you're going to be playing one less game potentially. But I think that there's some talks there. Sean Payton for Coach of the Year. I think Vrabel's in that conversation. Peyton's in that conversation.
Yeah. How's nobody talking about Vrabel? Like he navigated so many injuries. He helped right a defense that was pretty horrible last year.
Yep.
Vrabel should be in those talks. Here's the first thing they need to fix, besides the voters, obviously, with MVP. They should decide who the MVP is after the playoffs. Okay? Like, there are guys like Jonathan Taylor right now, who is right below Aaron Rodgers, right? In terms of, I think, a lot of people's opinion. And Jonathan Taylor over the last 2 weeks, a couple 100-yard rushing games, but like the Colts just lose to the Raiders. It's harder for a running back to take over a game unless it's Derrick Henry. But Jonathan Taylor, if he had a streak, say in the playoffs, say he's the number one reason the Colts win games in the playoffs or get to the Super Bowl, but the MVP's already been given to Aaron Rodgers, and say the Packers get bounced in the playoffs, like, because that could happen, Tom. I don't think it will, but it could happen. Like, why would a playoff push by a player who's already kind of in that conversation, that would be just as meaningful in my eyes as a solid season. Now, you would never want to see like Joe Flacco get it. You know what I mean?
Well, let me put it this way. Can you win?
Run.
Do you think you could win MVP if you don't make the playoffs?
I don't think you should. Like, how could you be the most valuable player in the league if your team isn't even in postseason contention?
So you're saying like a Barry Sanders shouldn't win an MVP?
Well, Barry's different. Barry's different.
That's what I mean. Yeah. And that's the thing. I think there's a ton of other systems that do it well because, of course, there is a bias, as we've talked about, towards QBs. Yeah, Paul. Like towards QBs because they are always touching the ball. Always touching the ball.
So is the center.
And that's why Humphrey should be rookie.
Creed Humphrey.
That's it.
Oh, Chiefs fans just got so hard.
Yeah. So that's the thing, because I think to your point, like the counter argument I would make is that you don't necessarily need to make the playoffs because you could be on a god awful team, but lighting it up.
Yeah, but I think like that might make you the most valuable player on your team, but not in the league.
So even if, let's just say Teddy Bridgewater threw for 7,000 yards and 55 touchdowns, but like the defense sucked this year, he doesn't win MVP.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that guy doesn't think Aaron Rodgers
because
should win
Teddy at some point should have fixed the defense, you know?
He should have went over there with a wrench and said, hey.
That's what Tom Brady does. He fixes the defense. He's like, hey, guys, go get me that ball.
TB12 supplements? So talking about the people who are in the running right now, you have Aaron Rodgers, you have Jonathan Taylor, you have Tom Brady. Those are like the top three, right? Cooper Kupp is like hanging on down there too.
Cooper Kupp's getting a strong push, I feel like, today. I mean, that guy, what's his name? Hub Arkush. He mentioned Cooper Kupp, and I was like, I don't think Cooper Kupp's an MVP candidate. And then I've seen a lot of people like, why don't we have Kupp in there? And the reason is because Kupp could hit 2,000 receiving yards. He has a big game this week. He leads in every receiving category. But the way I look at Cooper Kupp, I think he's an excellent wide receiver. But right now, I think Jamar Chase is a better wide receiver than Cooper Kupp. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
Like, that's just
I disagree because I think that Cooper Kupp's just been more consistent over the season because like Jamar Chase has definitely had ebbs and flows. And right now, like he's peaking right now. Like he's doing real well. But Cooper Kupp has been putting over like 100 yards like every single game. Like he's just been that incredible. Now, and I will say too, because this goes back to a stat, even though I have to look it up on the Bengals. So right now, where the hell are the Rams? I had them right here. I had them. Rams, stop it. There we go. So right now, Cooper Kupp has 1,829 yards, right? The next is Van Jefferson with 771, Robert Woods with 556, Higbee with 505. So like they have a bunch of guys over 500 yards. You know, like they have a bunch of weapons and he's still able to stand out.
Yeah. I'll say it like this, though. Through the same amount of games with Matt Stafford throwing the ball, I think Cooper Kupp's success a little more relevant to Matt Stafford. Calvin Johnson, how many yards did he have with Stafford? Maybe Stafford deserves more of the credit, I think, than Kupp. I guess you could make that case with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. But like if I had a team right now and you could give me one receiver, Kupp or Jamar Chase, I'd take Jamar Chase. I think I would go
Devontae Adams.
Yeah, Devontae. That was not
one of the choices. Oh,
as a teacher with multiple choice, you can't just write in your own multiple choice, Tom. That is frowned upon.
Jamar Chase better win Rookie of the Year. I swear to God, if they give it to Mac Jones, no.
Oh, no. And see, like you can argue Mac Jones should not be Rookie of the Year because he's barely the best rookie quarterback over Davis Mills. And if you put Davis Mills on the Patriots, I think they're just as good. I think Mac Jones is he's a product of being in a successful situation.
In a good
I think
environment.
Mac Jones can be a good, consistent quarterback, but like, I find him a little underwhelming.
I think he's had a very good rookie season when you're comparing them against all the other rookies that have come out this year. So I think his accolades stand out more than his peers because they're not doing well at all. I mean, what rookie QB is having a good season? Trevor Lawrence, no. Zach Wilson, no. Quattro Lance, you see him 5 times, like, no. It's Mac Jones, and Davis Mills. But like, that's
good old Davy Mills.
Good old Davy Mills.
Pat Surtain having a better rookie year than Mac Jones.
Nailed it. Breaking news.
Nailed it.
Breaking news. But all right, before we jump into who should it be, like, because I want to jump into stats and stuff like that. Can you bet on who's going to win the MVP? Yeah, you can, right? Can you do it on DraftKings Sportsbook?
Oh, yeah. You could have bet on that weeks ago, months ago, years ago. Well, maybe not years ago.
Oh.
DraftKings Sportsbook, America's #1 top-rated big dick app. Use
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer. GPS, when you sign up at DraftKings Sportsbook, we got a link in the description that will navigate you to DraftKings Sportsbook. When you use our code, they'll match your first-time deposit bonus of up to $1,000. So if you try to get a bonus of up to $1 million, you too rich. They ain't going to match that. But 1,000 is fair. You got same game parlays. Those are fun. You can stack multiple bets from the same game. So like Aaron Rodgers, is he going to have 250 passing yards? AJ Dillon, over 75 rushing yards. Devontae Adams, over 1 compliment to an opposing corner that the corner rejects. Like, you can bet on all of those things. And if you don't have legalized sports betting in your state, don't forget DraftKings, the king of fantasy, daily fantasy apps. And you can win millions of prizes there every week. Wow. Every single week. Code GPS when you sign up at DraftKings. They support our show. And if you want to do sports betting, we suggest you support them. Like a support bra. They're like the bra of betting.
Because they support you.
Mm-hmm. The bro. The man's ear.
Oh. All right.
Seinfeld.
Micah Parsons should win lots of defensive everythings. Surtain is on a good defense with good pass rushers, and he's still better.
Dude, Surtain's playing like a pro. Like a freaking pro. Pat Surtain held Jamar Chase to 1 reception for 3 yards. Let me double check that stat, but I'm pretty sure that's true.
All right, let's talk about MVPs right now and who's in the running and why people should do. So Jonathan Taylor right now, 317 carries for 1,734 yards and 18 touchdowns.
Wow,
18.
Wow.
Also has 342 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. The guy has 20 freaking touchdowns. You know what? Here's a stat that I would actually love to know. Hold on. Colts 2021 season stats. How many touchdowns do the Colts even have this season? I actually really want to know that. Hold on.
He accounts for a lot of them.
Yeah. They have 22 on the ground and then 26. So 48. So he's 20 of 48. That's a lot. The Titans could be in the best spot in the NFL because they somehow were able to navigate through all the injuries and are getting Derrick Henry back.
Yeah. Titans are going to be dangerous in the playoffs. I like the Titans.
Yeah. Here's what I'm going to say. So Jonathan Taylor is accounting for nearly half of all the touchdowns so 20 out of 48 of all the touchdowns that the Colts have scored. I don't think you put any other back there, they could replicate that, except maybe like a Derrick Henry, right? Because like he's just accounting for so much of their success. So Jonathan Taylor, I think, has a fair rationale as to why he could win MVP. Again, I think he's not going to win it because there is a bias towards QBs, but I think that there's a strong chance. And someone I mentioned before about Derrick Henry, I think Derrick Henry most definitely could have won MVP last year over Aaron Rodgers. 100%. 100%. But that, like, you have to have like a 2,300 yard season. Like, you have to go above and beyond in this new, 18 game regular season to try and like win it as a running back, because that's how much the odds are stacked against you.
Yeah, I think Jonathan Taylor's MVP candidacy was trending up. And then the last couple games for the Colts, let me bring them up real quick.
108 yards in the last game.
Yeah. So they lose to the Raiders. And
Nets fan for life. Dropping a hundo.
Oh, Aaron my Atlanta. Another Aaron for MVP. This one for Grossi.
I'm sorry,
Love
Perna.
it.
I have to.
Johnny John John!
Yeah. I think Jonathan Taylor not eviscerating the Raiders really hurt. Really hurt his chances to win MVP. And 108 yards against a team for most backs, that's a good day.
It's a good
That's
day.
a good day. But in my eyes, that's containing Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
108 yards and 1 touchdown. And defenses are kind of able to key on Jonathan Taylor right now. And I think if you limit his production, the Colts become pretty one-dimensional on offense because Carson Wentz is not doing anything to threaten in the passing game. And for Jonathan Taylor to have, I thought, like, to make that push for MVP, it's just like, even in the Cardinals game, it just needed to be a bigger performance from Jonathan Taylor. So, and I wanted him to win it so bad, but it's just like, I don't trust the Colts right now as a playoff team. I think, like, you just sell out to stop the run and force Wentz to try to beat you with the pass, and I don't know if he can.
Sure.
So
I think it comes down to Brady and Rodgers is what it's going to.
I don't even think Brady's in the conversation anymore.
So let's take a gander here. So Tom Brady, 456 for 682, completion rating of 66.9, compared to Aaron Rodgers, who's 352 for 513 with 68.6%. So Aaron Rodgers, better completion rating. Brady, 4,990 yards compared to Rodgers, which is 3,977. Rodgers also missed a game because of COVID, but Brady obviously has like 1,000 yards more than him. Brady, 40 touchdowns compared to Rodgers, 35. So 5.9% of every single throw that Brady does is a touchdown. Meanwhile, go over to Aaron Rodgers with his 35, 6.8% of every throw he has is going to be a touchdown. So while Brady has more touchdowns, Rodgers is edging him out on the percentage. Then you go to interceptions. Tom Brady, 12 picks. That's 1.8% of all of his throws. Rodgers, 4 interceptions, 0.8% of all of his throws.
If you have more than 10 picks, you can't win MVP.
And again, Rodgers missed it. And then I put this on Twitter because I think that this actually strengthens Aaron Rodgers' claim for MVP because, as I mentioned, they have the Buccaneers have had 5 players who have had over 450 receiving yards. The Packers have had 1. You move that up to 500 yards to move up the stick. Brady still had 3. Rodgers still has 1. And that is Davante Adams at 1,498 yards. And people have looked at that and are saying, well, that just means that Rodgers is over-relying on Adams. I disagree. I think it's that Tom Brady has so many more weapons that he can throw to. And all the defenses know where the ball's going to. It's going to Davante Adams. And Rodgers is still able to help that team with a good run game make it to the number 1 seed and have the best record in all of football. And, Perna, while you have that up real quick, I also want to put this up. That's right. Tom did his homework. Packers haven't allowed a sack in the last 2 games. This is their starting offensive line. Their left tackle is an undrafted free agent as a third stringer. Left guard, 6th round pick and a third stringer. Center, undrafted free agent as a backup. Right guard, 4th round pick rookie. Right tackle, 32-year-old backup. And they're still able to get it done. And I'm sorry, how much investing have Tom Brady and the Buccaneers done in their offensive line?
They basically have the best line in the league.
So,
and it's not even like a question.
So my point is that Rodgers is doing more with less. He's more of a surgeon on the field. And yes, they have the run game, but it's not like the Buccaneers are not running the ball. The Buccaneers have 1,587 rushing yards. The Packers have 1,778. So it's not like the Buccaneers aren't running the ball at all.
Why is Tyler Boyd not QB MVP consideration? 46 yards per attempt per pass. That's insane. Let's see. Who's number 1? Joe Burrow, 8.9 yards per pass. Jimmy G, look at that. He doesn't get enough. 8.5 yards per attempt. That means he's taking shots. Stafford, pretty deep too. Derek Carr, Aaron Rodgers. Yards per attempt. That's an underrated stat to look at, in my opinion. Best passer rating, Kendrick Bourne. Wow, perfect passer rating this season for Kendrick Bourne.
That's right.
This is what I hate about the NFL like stat site. Like they don't.
I never look at QBR.
Out.
QBR is so dumb. It's so dumb.
There we go. Okay, yeah, Aaron Rodgers. For a real quarterback, 111 passer rating as well. And that's not QBR. That's not that weird ESPN quarterback metric. That's about your passing only. So yeah, I don't think Tom Brady's a real, like you could say he's in the conversation, but no more so in my opinion than like Matt Stafford. Sure, Stafford's got the pick sixes, but in terms of interceptions, he has one more pick on the season than Brady?
Yeah.
Matty Stafford.
And that's the thing. I think Tom Brady's having a great season. I do. I think he's having a very, very good season. I also think like he has a ton of weapons.
Yeah. He's got 2 Hall of Fame you got 3 Hall of Fame ball catchers. One who won't get in the Hall of Fame because his name's Antonio Brown. But Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, Gronk, Godwin, too early to tell. Best offensive line in the league. Leonard Fournette, probably the most important part of that offense in a lot of cases. And then really the Bucs have struggled because their defense has not been number 1 in all the categories. And I say struggled, I mean they've lost 4 games. Like I think we'd be talking about the Bucs as the Super Bowl favorites if their defense was playing at the level it was last season. But yeah, I think what Rodgers has navigated this season is far more impressive in terms of personnel, actual challenges, those sort of things. What adversity has Brady faced this year? Oh, he didn't get to play with AB and Chris Godwin, but he still had Mike Evans and Gronk and some talented young receivers that aren't getting credit either.
We beat the Cardinals when they were undefeated on a short week without their top 3 receivers. True story.
Yeah.
True story.
Zach Wilson has fewer picks than Tom Brady. Davis Mills, fewer picks. Justin Fields, fewer picks. Anyway.
I mean, the Packers scored more points than the Buccaneers did against the Saints in that one game because they scored 3.
Yeah.
MVP discussion over.
And there's no chance a defensive player will ever win MVP.
No.
Now, a lot of people want TJ Watt for Defensive Player of the Year. I can understand that. But it's so hard because the Steelers just aren't good. It'll probably be Aaron Donald again.
there is something I do want to talk about that's very serious, and it's a bit of sad news.
Colorblindness?
No.
Oh.
Matt Nagy apparently will not return as the Bears head coach next season.
Yeah, he's been told.
He's been told that. He's been told.
Apparently.
I mean, listen, I wish him well on the Vikings, but it's going to be weird not seeing him in Bears colors or whatever those colors are every single week. But I think he'll make a great head coach of the Minnesota Vikings. And I'm excited to see Zimmer just tear apart Justin Fields on a daily basis about not wanting to see him. So, yeah.
There you go.
That's it. That's it. I know it's very shocking, folks. I know. Just soak it all in. Matt Nagy's not going to be the head coach of the Bears. I know. Just soak it in. Yeah, I mean, TJ Watt is a monster. Like he's only played 14 games.
I know. That's what's crazy.
That's the crazy thing about it all. Like he's only played 14 games and he still has 21 and a half sacks.
So he's one sack away from tying the sack record with Michael Strahan.
Yep.
I'll give TJ Watt the credit in saying if he gets it next week, it's legit because
he didn't play.
He'll have done it in 15 games. But basically, like a lot of the defensive player of the year candidates are just sack leaders at this point.
Yeah.
It's Watt. Yeah. Quinn's not going to get it, but he's gotten a lot of attention, I feel like, recently. Garrett's in the conversation. Bosa's in the conversation. And Parsons and Aaron Donald in the conversation. Those guys are all top 10 sacks. The only corner people have mentioned is Trayvon Diggs, and that's just because he has a shit ton of interceptions. Yeah. Other than that, I believe he's giving up like the most yards per game for a corner. So it's either like defensive player of the year is basically your sack leader or your interception leader. There's not a lot of nuance in terms of determining the best overall defensive player.
Can you go to passes defended or pass? Yeah. Can you go to that one? Because I see Watt has 6. Can you sort by that?
J.C. Jackson. Look, Diggs does have a lot of passes defended, but he also gets thrown at a lot. And he also gives up, I guess, how many times has he been targeted? That's the real question.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying Diggs is bad. I think he's a good corner. I just think there's flaws in his game. Like I think
the thing that makes him stand out is his interceptions. Like that's what. And like, listen, that's real great. That is great. But yeah, like there are also times like he gets burned. Diggs is the Jameis Winston of corners.
Let's see here. Minimum snaps, 50%. I think AJ Terrell is a better corner than Trayvon Diggs.
Ooh.
And nobody's going to talk about AJ Terrell because he plays for the Falcons.
No one talks about it. We only talk about Cordarrelle Patterson. We can only talk about one Falcons player. You thought it was going to be Kyle Pitts. It's not going to be. No, we can only talk about one Falcons player per year.
So Diggs right now, 24th in the league for corners who play at least 50% of the snaps. In terms of the reception percentage he allows, 57. AJ Terrell, best in the league at 44.3. Let's see here. What's the QB rating when targeted? Diggs, 71. AJ Terrell, 47.4 passer rating when targeted. So, I don't even think he's the best player at his position, but you're right. He's got all those picks. J.C. Jackson, probably you could argue the best corner in the NFL right now. Look at the Bills, their safeties, Hyde and Poyer. Those dudes affect the game. Kevin Byard in Tennessee. A lot of good guys on it. Look at your man, Rasul Douglas, too. 5 picks on the season.
Rasul was sitting on a practice squad, Perna. Sitting on a practice squad.
Oh, sorry, Tom. I shouldn't have. Leader in solo tackles, Devondre Campbell.
That's right, baby. That's right. No one wanted him. No, and look at me now. He's making paper. Well, he's not because we're only giving him like $3 million. But Also, can I just make one more note? I'm sorry to talk about the Packers again. You know how I said all those nice things about Devontae Adams? Right?
Yeah.
Since 2019, the Green Bay Packers are 7-0 without Devontae Adams.
Whoa.
So, yeah, Aaron Rodgers, MVP. Then, now, forever. Matt LaFleur, Coach of the Year. Easy. Done.
Yeah.
Done.
If you
The
put
guy's got
Kirk Cousins
3 years in a row. Come on now.
If you put Kirk Cousins on the Buccaneers roster, they'd be a playoff team. That's the way I see it.
Oh, I agree. 100%.
All right. We do have power rankings to quickly debate, I think. Oh, I forgot to upload. No, wait. Where is that? Where is that? Boom. Look at this.
There it is.
Packers number 1, unanimous decision. You got the Titans up at 2.
I do.
Oh, Russell Wilson will not stay in Seattle. Russell
Going
Wilson
to Denver.
is Broncos' backup plan. Let's see here. Let's see. The Colts at 10. I dropped the Colts
at 5. Holy crap!
Yeah.
For beating they're beating the Jaguars.
It's not just for beating the Jags.
They were on a 2-game losing streak before that.
Yeah, but they got one of the best defenses in the league, and I think heading into the playoffs, that's important.
Okay. By the way, we're not done here. You cursed my Packers.
Oh yeah,
I saw what your wheel did.
Cursed.
I saw what your wheel did. Now, here's the thing. I really hope it's just next week for a curse. Oh God, no! But Rodgers said he's going to play for a little bit. Perna, I swear to God. I swear.
I also started the episode by saying I don't think the curse wheel works anymore.
Oh, I know what you said.
I think it's over. The Bengals were cursed. That's won.
You challenging the curse.
The Dolphins were cursed. They won. I mean, they lost this last week, but what's the time limit on the curse? That's the other question. Doesn't come with a rule book, you know? I don't friggin' know. I don't friggin' know.
All right, so pull up there it is. Okay. So, all right, so you have the Colts lower. I mean, they've been on a streak for me. Obviously, they lost against the Raiders, but I still have them in the top 10. It was between them and the Patriots. Bills, you have 7. Okay. All right, good. We're about the same thing as the Buccaneers. Rams, about the same. Cardinals, 2 different. All right, I mean, they're pretty similar. I don't think there's anything egregious here.
Nothing weird. We both really boosted up the Bengals.
Yeah, we did.
And I saw a stat from this Twitter account. It's called Accountable Refs. And they basically put out for the week which teams benefited the most from penalties.
Ooh.
And the Bengals were number 1. So the Chiefs fans, based on let me see if I can just find that tweet real quick, because it's an interesting metric to look at. Damn it, where is it? No,
I think Micah Parsons 100% defensive rookie of the year. Well, easy. The guy is a monster. I've been saying that for months though, but yeah.
Impact of penalties on win probability. Bengals at the top there. The Eagles got the win, even though the football team was favored with win probability penalties. So, yeah, I understand why Chiefs fans were probably upset this week. Maybe if the Bengals and Chiefs get a rematch in the playoffs, that's the difference. I don't know. But I thought it was just an interesting metric to look at. But the Bengals, they're just so much talent on the offense that I think they can beat any team in the league. And I know they're not perfect. Their offensive line is a little bit of a liability, in my opinion. But
Mixon just got put on the COVID list, too.
Who did? Mixon.
Oh.
Do they need to win this weekend?
They clinched their division. They actually theoretically could still get the number 1 seed.
If the Titans and Chiefs lose, basically?
Yeah.
Wow.
Theoretically, the Patriots actually can get the number 1 seed, too. The Bills cannot. The highest they can go is 2. But, yeah. I did a whole video on it. So you won't be able to go to Disney World. Damn it. Real quick, you saw it, and I saw this on Twitter, and I thought it was really funny too. Jalen Hurts writing to the Washington football team going, what are you going to do to fix your crap stadium?
Yeah.
Someone said earlier that they just zip tied it.
Oh yeah. I'm pretty sure I retweeted that. Let me see. I got the visual
kind of
evidence of the zip ties, Tom.
That's kind of amazing. Oh my God, no way.
There we go. Fixed. Now, to be fair, zip ties are strong. That's why you use them in kidnappings. But for this, I don't know if it's the best.
When you have a whole bunch of over 150-pound people leaning on that.
Yeah.
Can Dan Snyder just go away? Like, can he just go into a hole and go away? But you know what? I don't even think that's trolling. If I'm Jalen Hurts, I'm like, hey, I'm kind of pissed because God forbid he got hurt with that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Lawsuit up the wazoo. Like, dude.
And yeah, like people fell, they got injured, not like super seriously.
Yeah.
But they were offered no medical assistance by Washington. They were told to get the fuck off the field. And that was a quote from the fans talking about it in an ESPN article. And like people, Jalen Hurts, like the news came out that he sent the letter to Washington, and people like, oh, because people fell 3 feet in the air. Like it doesn't matter how clearly one side is wrong. People are going to defend it just to be a-holes, basically. Yeah, like, they didn't fall super far, but a bunch of people fell on top of each other, on top of metal, while a player was walking by. And maybe it's not the most dangerous fall you've ever seen, but if they did fall on Jalen Hurts, he could have gotten hurt. Luckily, nobody was hurt in that scenario. You could easily break an arm, break a leg, something.
Sure.
The football team got lucky. Nobody was seriously hurt. And I think Jalen Hurts has every right to send that garbage organization from top to bottom, as putrid as it can be, the football team. And anyone who wants to defend that, you are wrong.
Well, that's the thing too. Like, you're talking about that of just like injury risk. What about a security risk? Like, you're having a whole bunch of fans fall in front of like a star quarterback. Like, I'm just saying, like, there's so many things that could have gone wrong, and thankfully they didn't. Like, I'm very happy that they didn't. But like, I'm sorry, if you're still defending a team that has had crap water multiple times fall on their fans this season, urinals falling apart, you have this freaking gate falling down in which they almost hit somebody, like they almost hit a freaking QB. Like, at what point are we going, you know what? Maybe we should start holding them accountable. Like, their stadium is garbage. And that's the thing too. Talking to Washington fans, they know their stadium is garbage. No one wants to go to their stadium. So I don't know how we're defending this at this point, because like, they are truly a garbage organization. Like, Dan Snyder, I don't care how many investigations they do, all the crap that has come out, all the things that he's made his employees do, how he's made them feel, the cheerleader incident. No, the guy should not be an owner in the NFL. And I'm sorry, but none of them, like none of the owners holding him accountable, like, you were cowards, complete and total cowards, because it's a joke. It's a total joke that man is still running it. And like, not only are you having fans be put at risk, players are being put at risk. It's a disgrace.
Yeah. This is how tormented Washington fans are. Their field's falling apart. You still got some people like, well, it's not that bad. Oh, it's not that bad, Jalen Hurts. Also, you've got Washington football team fans who are okay with the name Washington football team because they've let it stick for 2 years. Like, just because you get used to something doesn't mean it's good. So they're going to announce a new name on Groundhog Day, which is, interesting. I think it's going to be the Washington Hogs because of that. But like, there are people who are like, I actually kind of dig the Washington football team. No, you don't. You just got used to it. You could get used to a freaking tumor on your body. Sure. Doesn't mean you should keep it. doesn't mean you should keep it. And that's the best way. The Washington football team is the tumor of the NFL.
I think it's literally like you're gonna get like nice jerseys and helmets, and it's lipstick on a pig. Like that's an insult to pigs, because pigs are actually intelligent animals. So no, it's lipstick on a pig. And it's funny too, because people were looking like when they were doing the unveiling and they blurred out the helmet, but you can still see the helmet in the reflection, like in the window. It's glorious. It's just,
I'm saying football team fans deserve better than what they're getting.
Agree.
They deserve
better.
Agree.
Yep. 100% agree. So.
All right. Well, we did another episode, Tom, huh?
Oh, yeah. And also Jaguars fans are showing up as clowns. And you're going to get Bill O'Brien as your new head coach. Enjoy.
Yeah. Because Trent Baalke wants Bill O'Brien at the top of the coaching list. Jesus, have mercy. I saw another thing that Matt Eberflus, Indianapolis coach, also denied interviewing for the Jags position. Imagine you have the first overall draft pick. You took the best quarterback available, and your team is so bad nobody wants to go coach there.
No.
Man.
Move to London. And then, that's the thing, too. Just saying the Washington football team is a disgrace and garbage organization. There's other garbage organizations.
Oh, yeah.
Looking at you, Jacksonville. Looking at you, Texans. We could do this all day and rank which ones are the most garbage organizations. Maybe we'll do that in the off season. But
that'd be fun.
Yeah, just because we're throwing a whole lot of shade at Washington doesn't mean that others are immune to that. They're not immunized.
Give me Houston, give me Jacksonville, and give me Washington for the top 3 worst.
There you go. All right.
Detroit's up there, but at least Dan Campbell's making them look respectable.
Sure. All right. We did it, Perna. We went long, but we did it. But we rocked it today.
Yeah,
I was feeling this one.
Yeah.
But ladies and gentlemen, this has been another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. No game on Thursday once again, but we'll be back here on Friday, and then maybe a little co-stream on Sunday. Sunday night football.
Sunday night co-stream, baby.
Sunday night football co-stream, baby.
Raiders, Chargers, go Chargers, go!
Come on, you gotta hit it. Hit it once. Hit it once.
Hit it?
Hit it once. Come on, we gotta hit it once.
Go Chargers, go!
It's just a great clip.
Sorry,
but
Guillermo.
folks, thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. This is GPS. And you've been navigated.
And you've reached your Go Chargers Go.